Welcome to Kill Team Casuals, a podcast all about Kill Team filmed in 3 different time zones by 3 different gents. Hello listeners, and a huge thank you for listening to the show. If you like what we're doing here and want to throw some support our way, the best way to do so is over on our Patreon. We're revamping the site at the moment, but you'll get access to the full long-form video podcast and be involved in upcoming events like the Kill Team Cup. Make sure to catch our live streams on Twitch as well. We stream under Casual Wargamers and we stream most Mondays 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to get some Kill Team Casuals merch, make sure to check out the Teespring shop, casualwargamers.creator-spring.com. Back to the show.
You touched on Nova there as well, because speaking of interesting results, hecticness and some cool stuff going on. We'll get to the reveals in a second, but games there. Obviously, friend of the show, Shane, had a bit of an interesting run, a bit of a roller coaster there.
Oh man, yeah, Legionaries again, close to my heart. But yeah, a good run for the show. Placed second with Legionaries, I believe, and was just swatting down Commandos, one man against the wall, just against the Green Tide,
summer,
just
baby.
smacking them down left and right. And but Commandos took it. I think Adrian took it with his Commandos, and which is like top 8 again from a distance. Because I tell you what, man. I had FOMO this weekend because like some of the Florida guys were there, Shane, Dakota, like all the guys were there. And I was like, oh man, it's like, I wish I was there. Like it felt like I was missing out on KTO or something, like where all the guys are there and you get to hang out. So I was like, gosh, man, I'm so bummed that I'm not there. And it was a great time. Seemingly the most, like from a distance at least, looks like maybe the most competitive Kill Team event, like the most dangerous one so far. Wow. Like I think it's like 65, 72, something like that players. And so many of them were monsters. Like the Garretts were there tearing it up. You had like Plasma Spam was there. Oh yeah, just crushing. And so like everybody was there. And it was like, ooh, man, I would love to have gone there and be crushed. Like that seems like that would have been real fun.
Deep Fatty's got it right here. He just said Jason FOMOer. So yes, very much. Welcome to Deep Fatty in the chat.
What up, Greg? How you doing, man? What's up? What a good dude. Yeah.
I think that what was Shane running for that as well? Obviously, what was the Commando Crusher? What was the team he was using to
Nurgle Legionaries.
Oh, no wonder.
Nurgle
Wonder you love it so much. No wonder.
Of course. This is justice, man. I'm living vicariously through Shane, crushing Commandos.
It was too positive by you. I knew there was something going on. It's a connection. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, like, because I was following it and you had so many Commando mirror matches. Like, even in the top 8, there was a couple. And it's like, man, what a nightmare that feels like to get mirrors all the time. Because there was so many. So the intercession is always, omnipresent, but you also have the Commandos that were everywhere. And I was thinking about, like, man, that's an interesting, like, thing you have to deal with if you are taking the meta pick, just because you're going to have to deal with
yourself.
Hope you can take it. Yeah, exactly. Like, and an example of like taking something like Nurgle Legionaries has maybe the best matchup, one of the better matchups. Intercession, Legionary, whatever, like, whatever you think. Those are 2 good matchups in going into Commandos. It's like, man, knowing if Legionary is so good because who are the big bads are going to be everywhere? Intercession, Commandos, right? Some other ones like whatever. And Nurgle Legionaries, specifically Nurgle, have such a great matchup into those teams. Yeah. And so it's just, speaking of that, sort of like off meta a little bit, like Legionaries have never been bad. They're very good, but they're not the big bad right now, but they have good matchups into the big bad. So it was just real interesting and fun to look at over the weekend.
The meta off meta, really. It's the
interesting.
We touched on that, isn't it? Sometimes it's also not just the team you want to take that's the best, but who matches up well. Speaking of intercession, because obviously I'm pretty proud of myself. I finally got the transfers to finish my intercession team from the intercession, one of our first Kit Bash challenges ever.
Oh, like a year ago, yeah.
But a question, I haven't seen them like on the podiums anywhere near as much. Is that people falling out of love with them? Because obviously they copped a few nerfs to some of, I guess, the key chapter traits people were taking. is it just that the best of the best aren't really taking them? Lots of people are taking them. They just don't happen to be taking it all because they're still a great team. Unreal.
Oh yeah, they're so good, and they're so good that you nerf one thing and they just
adapt.
Okay, like we'll use the other thing that is still good. Like there's still a bunch of good options, and even the thing that was even durable that was nerfed, like it's still not a bad choice to take durable. Like durable and rapid, the two things that got nerfed are still great choices. Like everybody's still running rapid because it's so good. But yeah, it's interesting. I think it is one team that is so simple, which is its strength, but also if you want to be like, if you love the game and want to think about the game and go deeper with it, they do get old after a little while. Like they're just so simple, which is again strength, but also weakness. I think in long term that it starts, at least somebody who does not love playing them continually, that they seem to get boring after a while.
And people are very familiar with them because there are a lot of people like, yes, you might not be getting as many top tables, but you're probably getting a lot of those mid and a lot of, just like us, the casual players, they're a great team to start with and begin with. So people are very familiar. So are probably a little bit more comfortable at that level, sort of knocking them on the head.
Yeah, for sure. And then, once you, again, there are no tricks with intercession. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're matching into them, what are they going to do? They're going to try and shoot you twice. And then they're going to try and shoot on death. That's the trick. And then they have the trickiest thing they can do is like a fight at the end of the phase, a free fight at the end of the phase. Like aside from that, there are no tricks. So I think once you know what they're one of the easier teams to learn the matchup for. And so like, it's a hard matchup for some people.
No big gotcha moments like a lot of the other boogeyman teams or they don't like some teams like the Cascots don't get better as the game goes on. They get the same.
Thanks for watching. The full pod is available where you listen to your podcast. We stream live on Twitch at Casual Wargamers, and the full video podcast is available now to all tiers of our Patreon. See you next week.